erosional and depositional landforms in geography. And this is one area, guys, which is important in geography, right? So here, how you will try to study these landforms is, I'll give the framework, you do the homework. So rivers, the landforms made by rivers, that is first thing. Similarly, we have the landforms related to glaciers, right? Glacier landforms. Third is desert landforms, the landforms that are made by wind. Desert landforms, right? Coastal landforms, and volcanic landforms. Right? These are different types of landforms, guys. Right? First is the landforms that are made by rivers, that is water, rivers. Second is the landforms that are made by wind, which are usually desert landforms. And in coastal areas also we have coastal landforms. And similarly we have glacial landforms. Number of different names will be there, guys. So for prelims, what we have to do is, what are erosional landforms? Erosional landforms means those that are formed because of removal of particles from a surface, right? That is erosional landform. Depositional landform means water or moving air, that is wind, collecting all the particles at a place. That makes up depositional landforms, right? So we need to know, for example, if there is a question saying rapid is what kind of landform? Rapid is basically an erosional landform, right? That is first thing we have to know. Second thing is, what kind of landform? Is it formed by river, or is it formed by volcano, or is it formed by wind or glaciers, right? It is formed by moving water, that is river, right? Rapids are also one kind of similar to waterfalls, guys, right? So it's an erosional landform that is made by rivers, running water, right? So this is how we have to try to analyze all the landforms that are given in the NCERT book, right? Two things for every name of the landform, two things that we have to know is whether it is an erosional landform or a depositional landform. Second point is, how is it formed? Is it formed by river or is it formed by glaciers, right? Take another example, Oxbow Lake, right? Oxbow Lake is a erosional landform or depositional landform? It is a depositional landform. Oxbow Lake is a depositional landform. River water will be depositing all the sediments at a place, and that forms Oxbow Lake, Oxbow, right? I suppose you already know about Oxbow Lake, right? So first is, it is a depositional landform. Now the second point is, how is it formed? Is it a glacial landform, or is it a river landform, or is it a landform formed by wind? It is a river landform, right? It is a river landform. So these are the two dimensions by which we have to try to analyze almost all the landforms, guys, right? What are Barchans? Barchans, Barchans, Barchans. What is Seif? SCIF, Seif. These are sand dunes that are formed by wind in the desert regions, right? These are the sand dunes that are formed by the wind in the desert regions. So including with shapes, everything is there in the NCERT book. That is more than enough, right? So landforms is one area which we have to touch as a part of geography crash course, right, for prelims, right? So now we'll try to analyze volcanic landforms, all the volcanic landforms and the names, right? So river landforms, wind landforms, you can manage it, guys, right? Just revise it once, you will be getting it. Now I found volcanic landforms is one area where number of different names are there, right? So volcanic landforms can be divided into, first of all, volcanic landform means those landforms that are formed because of volcanic activity, right? Those landforms that are formed because of volcanic activity. Now these can be divided into extrusive landforms and intrusive landforms. This can be divided into extrusive landforms and intrusive landforms. So what is extrusive and intrusive? If the magma forms the landforms within the surface of the earth, that is inside the earth, all the landforms that are made by the magma inside the Earth's surface, they are called intrusive landforms. Intrusive, inside the Earth, right? Whereas all the landforms that are formed by the lava outside the Earth's surface, right? Outside the Earth's surface, that is on the Earth's surface, they are called extrusive landforms. Extrusive landforms. You can connect this to intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks also. In igneous rocks also, we have intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. Intrusive igneous rocks means those rocks that are formed within the Earth's surface, right? Within the Earth's surface. Whereas extrusive igneous rocks are those rocks that are formed on the Earth's surface because of lava, right? So magma is inside the Earth's surface. When magma comes out of the Earth's surface, it is called as lava, right? So this is the difference between magma and lava. You should not use the terms interchangeably. So first division is extrusive landforms and intrusive landforms. Now some examples of extrusive landforms are, first is cinder cone. Cinder cone, this is nothing but a cone shaped structure that is formed because of lava on the surface, on the Earth's surface. Cinder cone. Second is caldera, C-A-L-D-E-R-A, caldera. This is also an extrusive landform. Third is mid-ocean ridges. Mid-ocean ridges. Mid-ocean ridges. We have already discussed mid-ocean ridges as a part of divergent boundary. Few days back, as a part of plate tectonics, we have discussed mid-oceanic ridges as a divergent boundary, right? When two plates move away from each other, right, new crust will be formed. There we see this volcanic activity and landforms called mid-oceanic ridges, right? Mid-Atlantic ridges is the example for mid-ocean ridges. And similarly, conical vent and fissure vent. Conical vent and fissure vent. This is also an extrusive landform. This is also an extrusive landform. So these are different types of extrusive landforms, guys, formed by volcano. So no need of definitions for this. If you just refer geography textbook where these landforms shapes are given, right? By seeing those shapes, you can understand which term is for which landform. What is a cinder cone? What is a caldera, right? So all these, by seeing the shapes, you can understand. Please refer geography NCERT. Now, intrusive landforms. What are intrusive landforms? Formed within the Earth's surface, inside the Earth's surface, by the magma. Now, these are, first is batholith, B-A-T-H-O-L-I-T-H, batholith, batholith, right? Second is laccolith, L-A-C-C-O-L-I-T-H, laccolith. Second is laccolith, L-A-C-C-O-L-I-T-H, laccolith. Third is lapolith, L-A-P-O-L-I-T-H, lapolith, L-A-P-O-L-I-T-H, lapolith. Fourth is phacolith, P-H-A-C-O-L-I-T-H, phaco, P-H-A-C-O-L-I-T-H, phacolith, right? Fifth one is sills, S-I-L-L-S, sills, S-I-L-L-S, sills. And sixth is dikes, D-Y-K-E-S, dikes, dikes. So all these are intrusive landforms, batholith, laccolith, lapolith, phacolith, sills and dikes. All these are landforms that are formed by magma within the Earth's surface, inside the Earth's surface, right? The names are important for us, right? At least if we broadly remember what is this, this is a landform formed by volcano, it will be useful for us, right? So this is how we have to try to analyze landforms, guys. First is, right, whether it is an erosional landform or a depositional landform. Second is, it is formed by which agent? Is it formed by glacier agent, or is it formed by water agent, or is it formed by wind agent? So yesterday we have discussed how to analyze a river, right? So try to do the same thing for other rivers also. We have discussed Godavari river, and the next topic is one kind of question, guys. I'll try to tell you like how they can ask the questions. So they were trying to explain a crop, right? They have given 3 to 4 lines about a crop and asked to guess what is that crop, right? So they said it is one of the major oil seed predominantly grown in northern belt of India, right? It is one of the major oil seed predominantly grown in northern belt of India, but can also be grown in wide variety of agroclimatic conditions, right? So they are saying it is one of the oil seed that is predominantly grown in northern belt of India. However, it can be grown in other agroclimatic conditions also. And it is a rabi crop. It is a rabi crop. This is the second hint they have given. Third is the oil content in it is around 40%. The oil content in that oil seeds is around 40%, right? And it has a pungent flavor, right? It has a pungent, that is foul smelling flavor, and it is also used as spices in Indian cuisine, right? So these many hints are given. First, it is usually grown in northern India but can also be grown in other areas. Second, it is a rabi crop. Third, oil content is more than 40%. And fourth, it has a pungent flavor. Fifth, it is also used as spice in Indian cuisines. And the options are: first is flaxseed, second is sesame seed, third is mustard, and fourth is groundnut, right? Fourth is groundnut. So the answer is mustard, guys. Mustard is the rabi crop oil seed. Now, one common thing is oil seeds are usually not rabi crops, right? Oil seeds are usually kharif crops. Oil seeds are usually kharif crops. And oil seeds can be grown at arid places also. They don't consume much of water, right? Oil seeds don't consume much of water. And oil seeds is a major crop in dryland farming. Oil seeds is a major crop in dryland farming. Now, mustard is the almost the only oil seed that is grown as rabi crop, right? That is grown as rabi crop. So if we are not able to remember all the names of oil seeds, at least we have to know the unique or the different ones, right? So mustard is a rabi crop and it is an oil seed. This also will be useful for us to eliminate the questions in somewhere or the other. And agriculture is important because this year, if we see for the kharif crop, the area that is cropped, right? The area that is sown has increased by 7% this year. Has increased by 7%, right? Especially for pulses and oil seeds, the crops or the area, the agricultural area that is under pulses and oil seeds has increased very much in India this year. Right? Even for paddy also it has increased. Even for paddy also it has increased. But for pulses and oil seeds, it has increased so much. For pulses and oil seeds, it has increased so much. So pulses and oil seeds is an area where we have to focus. Try to find out different types of pulses. Where are they grown, in kharif or rabi area? And what is one scheme that was brought by Government of India for extending the MSP benefits to pulses and oil seeds, right? Exclusive scheme for pulses and oil seeds. One scheme was brought by Government of India. That is PM Asha scheme. PM Asha scheme. You might have studied about this scheme, right? PM Asha scheme. Annadata Ay Sanrakshan scheme. PM Asha scheme. This is for extending the MSP benefits to pulses and oil seeds. Pulses and oil seeds. And this scheme is being implemented by Ministry of Agriculture. The scheme is being implemented by Ministry of Agriculture, right? And the next topic is bushfires. Environment topic, guys, bushfires. Now, bushfires is important because we have seen bushfires frequency increasing in Australia, right? That was in the news. Australian bushfires was a big news in the previous months, right? So that's why we have to know what are the ideal conditions that are required for bushfires, right? That can be a question, right? Because we have seen in the previous questions, in the previous prelims years, they have asked ideal condition for cyclone, right? So similarly, we can expect a question on ideal condition for bushfires, right? So the first condition that is required for a bush. So first of all, what is a bushfire? Bushfire is nothing but the grassland area catching fire, right? The grassland area catching fire, because of which habitats of species are destroyed. Because of which habitats of species are destroyed. Right? These bushfires are increasing nowadays because of human activities. Because of anthropogenic activities increase, bushfires are also increasing. However, the point here to note is human factors are not the only reason for bushfires. Natural factors are also a reason for bushfires. Right? So here we have to be careful, guys. Not only human factors or not only anthropogenic activities, but also natural factors. Take the example of lightning strike, right? Lightning, thunders. So lightning is one of the important reason or main reason for bushfires, right? Lightning is one of the main reason for bushfires. So in this way, natural factors can also be a reason for causing the bushfires. This is first point where we have to be clear, right? Not only human or man-made activities, but natural activities can also cause. Second condition that is required is fuel load. Fuel load. This fuel load is nothing but, so what is the fuel for this bushfire? It is nothing but the dry leaves, right? The dry leaves, the waste trees that are cut down and thrown on the land, right? These are the fuel. If there are more dried leaves, twigs and branches, then chances of catching fire is more. Chances of catching fire is more. So first thing is fuel load. How much leaf litter do we have on the ground? That is one of the important condition for bushfire. Second is fuel moisture. Fuel moisture, that is how dry the leaves are. If the leaves are more dry, then the chances of catching fire is more, right? If the moisture in the leaves is more, then chances of catching the fire is less. So the second condition is fuel moisture should be less. Fuel moisture is nothing but amount of moisture that is present in the leaves, right? That should be less. Third condition, wind speed. Wind speed. If the speed of the wind is more, if the wind is going at high speeds, then also catching fire chances are more. Then also catching fire chances are more. That is the third condition. Fourth condition is ambient temperature. If the temperature is high, then also bushfire chances are more, right? If the temperatures are high, then also bushfire chances are more. Fifth is relative humidity. Relative humidity. If relative humidity is more, that implies water vapor content is more. When water vapor content is more, fire cannot happen, right? So if relative humidity is less, then forest fire or bushfires chances are more, right? So relative humidity should be less. This is the other condition. And the next point is slope angle. Slope angle. Slope also affects the bushfire, guys, right? If the fire caught at the top of the slope, right, it is easy for fire to transfer from top to bottom rather than bottom to up. It is easy for the fire to transfer from top to bottom rather than bottom to up. So slope also matters in the bushfire. Slope also matters in the bushfire. And the last thing is ignition source. Ignition source. Ignition source is nothing but what are the causes? We have discussed that first itself, right? Man-made activities as well as natural factors. Natural factors such as lightning, they can also cause the bushfire. So all these are preconditions or conditions that are required for a bushfire to happen, right? For a bushfire to happen. So this we have to be thorough with, guys, right? And the next topic is, this is a static portion, terrestrial planets and Jovian planets. Terrestrial planets and Jovian planets. What are terrestrial planets? The first 4 planets which are nearby to the sun, right? So how is the solar systems, guys? We have sun and we have 4 planets, and then we have an asteroid belt, and then we have the other 4 planets, right? Total we have 8 planets. 4 planets are called terrestrial planets. These are called terrestrial planets because they have Earth-like features. They have Earth-like features, rocky surfaces. That's why they are called terrestrial planets. These 4 planets are nearby to the sun's region. Then after these 4 planets, we have a huge belt of asteroids. Asteroids, 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 right? So after this asteroid belt, we have the other 4 planets which are called Jovian planets, right? Which are called Jovian planets, right? And one shortcut to remember the planets sequence is my very efficient mother, right? Just write it down, guys. It is useful for you. If you remember it, then it's well enough, right? If you already know the planets, it's well enough, right? This is how I remember. So my very efficient mother just served us noodles, right? My very efficient mother just served us noodles, right? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and just served us noodles. J is Jupiter, S is Saturn, U is Uranus, and N is Neptune. So this is how you can remember the sequence, guys. So asteroid belt will be there between the first 4 planets and the last 4 planets. So first 4 are called terrestrial, last 4 are called Jovian. And difference between these two is solar winds, right? We have already discussed solar winds when we were discussing Parker Solar Probe, Aditya L1 mission. When we were discussing that, we discussed solar winds, right? Solar winds are fast winds that are coming from the sun's surface. Now this solar winds influence is more in the terrestrial planets. It is less in the Jovian planets. Why is it less? Because they are farther from the sun, right? They are distant from the sun, whereas terrestrial planets are nearby to the sun. So this is the first difference, guys. Influence of solar winds is more on the terrestrial planets than the Jovian planets. And the second difference is primitive atmosphere. That is, after the Big Bang theory, as the planets have formed, primitive atmosphere was there. Around the planets, mostly it was hydrogen and helium gases, right? However, because of solar wind, because of velocity of solar wind, the first 4 planets, which are terrestrial planets, lost their primitive atmosphere. They lost their primitive atmosphere. And now what do we have in atmosphere? We have carbon dioxide, we have oxygen, we have other gases also. Whereas the Jovian planets, which are farther from the sun, these 4 Jovian planets still have that primitive atmosphere. They still have the primitive atmosphere. Because they are farther from the sun, solar wind's influence was less, right? So this is the second difference. Primitive atmosphere not present in terrestrial, it is present in Jovian. Now the third difference is size of the planets. Size of the planets. Terrestrial planets are smaller compared to Jovian planets. Terrestrial planets are smaller compared to Jovian planets. So these are the differences between terrestrial and Jovian planets, guys. This is in the first chapter of NCERT Geography, right? First chapter. All the theories are given, guys. So names of the theories are also important for us. Big Bang theory is one. For plate tectonics theory, we have one name, right? For sea floor spreading, we have another name, right? The theories are also important. And the next topic is meandering. Meandering. What is meandering? Meandering is nothing but the river moving in a loop direction, right? The river moving as loops. That is called meandering. Now, when is meandering done? At a young stage of the river or mature stage of the river? Meandering is done at the mature stage of the river and old stage of the river. There are 3 stages for the river. One is young, second is mature, third is old, right? So there are 3 stages for river: young stage, mature stage, old stage. What does a river do in the young stage? In the young stage, the river tries to erode as much as possible and collect the deposits. Erode as much as possible the rocks and collect the deposits or collect the sediments. That is what the river does in the young stage. Whereas in the mature stage, it continues to erode, but it also starts to deposit, right? It continues to erode, but also it starts to deposit in the mature stage. Whereas in the old stage, it does not erode much, but it deposits whatever it has, it deposits. What all sediments it has, it deposits. In this way, there are 3 stages for a river. Please revise these 3 stages also, guys, right? And now, when is this meandering taken place? This meandering takes place in the mature stage and the old stage, right? In the mature stage and the old stage. Now, this meandering depends on some factors. What are those factors? They are lateral erosion. That is, how much the river erodes, that much chances are there for meandering. Second is Coriolis force. Coriolis force also plays a role, not only in the wind's direction, not only in the ocean currents direction, but also in the meandering of the rivers. Also in the meandering of the rivers, right? So these are some factors, guys. So meandering. And Oxbow Lake. How is an Oxbow Lake formed? The Oxbow Lake is formed because of meandering, right? Oxbow Lake is formed because of meandering, right? Try to get more details about Oxbow Lake also, guys. And the next thing is seasons on the earth. Why do we have seasons on the earth? Seasons of the earth is because of revolution of earth or rotation of earth. It is because of revolution of the earth, not rotation of earth, right? Rotation of earth only affects day and night of the earth, right? Rotation of the earth affects only day and night of the earth. Revolution of the earth affects the seasonal changes, right? What is rotation and what is revolution? Revolution means earth moving around the sun, earth moving around the sun. Rotation means earth moving about an axis, right? Earth moving about an axis of itself. That is rotation. Revolution means moving around the sun, right? Now a tilt angle is there for the earth. Earth does not rotate in a straight axis. Earth rotates in a tilted axis, which makes 66.5 degrees with the north, right? So it moves at a 66.5 degrees with the north in a tilted angle. It tries to move around the sun, because of which northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere have opposite seasons, right? Opposite climates, right? If north has summer, south hemisphere has winter. If north has winter, south hemisphere has summer, right? These seasonal changes are because of axial tilt of the earth and revolution of the earth, right? Revolution of the earth around a tilted axis, not rotation. Not rotation. This is just a revision, guys, right? I guess most of you guys know it already. And next topic is Shanti Stupa. This is a current affairs topic, guys, which can also be related to culture and heritage, right? It is Shanti Stupa. What is this Shanti Stupa? These Shanti Stupas are nothing but also known as peace pagodas. Peace pagodas, P-A-G-O-D-A-S, peace pagodas. These Shanti Stupas are also known as peace pagodas. These are Buddhist monuments. These are Buddhist monuments that are constructed in different parts of the world to mark peace, right? To mark peace. These Shanti Stupas, also known as peace pagodas, are constructed in different parts of the world. They are Buddhist monuments, right? They are Buddhist monuments. Now, this was an initiative of a Japanese monk called Fuji. This is an initiative of a Japanese monk called Fuji. Now, why is this important for us? This is important for us because now, as he was constructing the Shanti Stupas, this particular Japanese monk has constructed one Shanti Stupa in India also, right? In India also. It is located in Rajgir, Bihar. It's located in Rajgir, Bihar, right? The Shanti Stupa or the Peace Pagoda in India is located in Rajgir, Bihar. It is the world's highest peace pagoda. It is the world's highest peace pagoda, right? And why is this important for us? Because this has completed 50 years. In this year, this peace pagoda has completed its 50th anniversary this year. And the President of India went there. He has attended, right? He has attended this world's highest peace pagoda, which is located in Rajgir, Bihar. Which is located in Rajgir, Bihar. It has completed its 50th anniversary. right? This is also one area, guys. 50, 100 years, 200 years, 150 years, 75 years, 25 years, any events finishing these years or anniversaries, they are also important for us, right? Better to study about them also. The next topic is ENCORE project. ENCORE, ENCORE. ENCORE project. We have discussed this in the crash course, right? So what is ENCORE project? What is the full form? ENCORE project stands for Enhancing Ocean and Coastal Resource Efficiency, right? So ENCORE full form is Enhancing Coastal and Ocean Resource Efficiency. What is this for? Objective of this scheme or this program is integrated coastal zone management. Integrated coastal zone management is the objective of this ENCORE, right? Now it is initiative of Government of India. It is the initiative of Government of India in collaboration with World Bank, with the support of World Bank. So this ENCORE project is an initiative of Government of India in collaboration with World Bank. And what is the objective of this scheme? Integrated coastal zone management. Integrated coastal zone management. And Maradu Flats issue in Kochi. You might have studied about this Maradu Flats issue in Kochi, right? Last year it was in the news. Maradu Flats issue, right? Maradu Flats, they are flats in Kochi. They were constructed by violating the coastal regulation zone norms. We have norms in India for construction in coastal areas called coastal regulation zone norms, CRZ norms. So Maradu flats were constructed by violating these CRZ norms. That's why they were demolished because of Supreme Court's judgment that they have to be demolished. So in this context, coastal regulation zone norms are important for us. And also they were revised last year only, right? Coastal regulation zone norms were revised last year in the year 2019, right? On which committee's recommendations? Shailesh Nayak committee recommendations. Shailesh Nayak committee recommendations. So Shailesh Nayak committee has recommended for coastal regulation zone norms amendment that was amended by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change last year 2019. Some changes were brought. So this is about ENCORE project, guys. Yeah, and similar to volcanic landforms which we have discussed, we'll try to list down the names of glacial landforms also. Glacial landforms also. So the first one is Cirque, 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 CIRQUE. This is a glacial landform, CIRQUE, Cirque. And the second one is Tarn, 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 Tarn. It's a glacial lake. It is a glacial lake. Tarn. This is also a glacial landform. Third, Col, 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 Col. This is also a glacial landform. This is also a glacial landform. Horn, HORN, Horn. Horn is also a glacial landform, guys, right? Similarly, we have moraines, MORAINE, moraine, moraine deposits. These moraine deposits are nothing but depositional landforms of glaciers. Moraines, 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 they are depositional landforms of glaciers. Outwash plains, outwash plains, these are also depositional landforms by glaciers. These are also depositional landforms by glaciers, right? There is a beautiful picture in NCERT, right? That picture explains you all the erosional and depositional features of glaciers, right? Of the glaciers. So if you just see that picture, then you will never forget these names, guys, right? Please refer that picture. And the next current affairs topic is D-track. D-track. What is this D-track? It was in the news, guys, right? What is this D-track? This D-track is a malware. This D-track is a malware, right? We have discussed Kudankulam nuclear power plant, right? The systems of Kudankulam nuclear power plant, they were compromised by a malware. What was the name of that malware? D-track. D-track is the malware, right, with which cyber attack was done on Kudankulam nuclear power plant. This D-track is a malware that we have to know, right? Similarly, Pegasus spyware. Pegasus, Pegasus. This Pegasus spyware was also in the news. Why was it in the news? This Pegasus spyware was used to track WhatsApp accounts and mobile phones of some people in India. This Pegasus spyware was used to compromise the mobile devices of some people in India. So Pegasus is a spyware. Pegasus is a spyware. D-Track is a malware. Right? Cyber security topics these are, and current affairs also. And the next topic is different layers of atmosphere. Different layers of atmosphere and how the temperature changes in different layers of atmosphere. Right? First, we'll start with troposphere. Troposphere, we'll try to revise troposphere. Right? What is the average length of troposphere? Average length of troposphere is 13 kilometers. Right? 13 kilometers. At the equator, the length of troposphere layer is 18 kilometers. Right? 18 kilometers. At the poles, it is 8 kilometers. At the poles, the length of troposphere is 8 kilometers. On an average, 13 kilometers is the length of troposphere layer. 13 kilometers is the length of troposphere layer. All the weather changes, all the climate changes we talk about, all these changes take place within the troposphere. All the weather changes and climate changes which we talk about, which impact human life, they take place in this troposphere. Right? Troposphere. All the clouds, the dust, right? Water vapor, atmospheric aerosols, most of these are present in this troposphere only. Right? Most of these are present in the troposphere only. And in this troposphere, as we move up, the temperature decreases. As we move up in this troposphere, the temperature decreases. This is called normal lapse rate. We have discussed this when we were discussing temperature inversion. Right? We have discussed temperature inversion. So normal lapse rate means as we move up in the troposphere, the temperature decreases. Right? The temperature decreases. This is called normal lapse rate. To be more accurate, as we move 165 meters above, right, 1 degree Celsius temperature will be dropping. 1 degree Celsius temperature will be dropping for every 165 meters of height. For every 165 meters of height. Right? This is called normal lapse rate. But what happens in temperature inversion? As we move up, temperature will increase. That is called temperature inversion. Right? Temperature inversion. Right? We have discussed temperature inversion in detail. Temperature inversion leads to classical smog. Please connect it to classical smog also. Right? Temperature inversion leads to classical smog. Whereas nitrogen oxides in the presence of sunlight will lead to photochemical smog. That is a different smog and this is a different smog. We have discussed that also in detail, right, for environment topic. So this is about troposphere. Now about troposphere we have stratosphere. Right? About troposphere we have stratosphere. Now the layer or the junction between troposphere and stratosphere is tropopause. Tropopause. So what is tropopause? Tropopause is the layer between troposphere and stratosphere. Between troposphere and stratosphere. Temperature is constant in this tropopause layer. Temperature is constant in this tropopause layer. So the next layer is stratosphere. What is the importance of stratosphere? We have ozone layer present in this stratosphere. Why is this ozone layer important? This ozone protects us from the harmful UV rays. This ozone layer protects us from the harmful UV rays, and this ozone layer is present in this stratosphere. What is the length of the stratosphere? It is about 50 kilometers. Length of the stratosphere is about 50 kilometers. Now, how does the temperature change here? As we move up in the stratosphere, temperature increases, right? As we move up in the atmosphere, the temperature increases, right? Whereas in the troposphere, it decreases. Whereas in the stratosphere, it increases with height. This is about stratosphere, guys. And the other important fact about stratosphere is here, the layers of atmosphere are stable. Unlike troposphere, we don't have winds here, right? In troposphere, we have northeast trade winds, westerlies, right? Jet streams. These are different types of winds we have in the troposphere. But such kind of winds are absent in the stratosphere. So stability in the atmosphere is more in stratosphere. That's why jets are flied in the stratosphere region. Jets are flied in the stratosphere region. Why? Because stability of the atmosphere is more in stratosphere compared to troposphere. And the next layer is mesosphere. The third layer is mesosphere. So in this mesosphere, again the temperature decreases as we move up, right? The temperature decreases as we move up in the mesosphere. The next layer is ionosphere. The next layer is ionosphere. So this ionosphere, again, it's ulta. The temperature increases with height, right? The temperature increases with height. So these are different layers of atmosphere, guys, right? In troposphere, temperature decreases with height. In stratosphere, temperature increases with height, right? In mesosphere, temperature decreases with height, whereas in ionosphere, temperature increases with height. And another special feature about ionosphere is radio waves. Ionosphere consists of ions, right? The radio waves which we are using currently, they are based on ionosphere. They are based on ionosphere. IONOSPEHERE, ionosphere, right? So these are different points and different layers of atmosphere, guys, right? We need to be thorough with them also. And the next topic is bougainville. BOUGAINVILLE, bougainville, right? What is bougainville? Bougainville is the world's newest country, right? World's newest country. Bougainville is world's newest country. This was recently formed because Bougainville is actually a place that belongs to Papua New Guinea, right? There is a country called PAPUA, NEW, Papua New Guinea, GUINEA, Papua New Guinea, right? So Bougainville is a part of this country. However, a referendum was conducted and majority of the people voted for coming out of Papua New Guinea. So in that way, Bougainville is the world's newest nation and also smallest nation that was formed in the year 2019, guys, right? This happened in the year 2019, right? So the country's name we have to know, right? So this is about Bougainville, guys. And the next topic is apogee, aphelion, perigee, perihelion, right? These four terms also you can see in the geography. Now, what is apogee and what is perigee? Now, first of all, we have to know Earth will be revolving around the sun, right? Similarly, moon also will be moving around the Earth, right? Moon has its orbit. Moon will be moving around the Earth in that orbit. Similarly, Earth has one orbit and Earth will be moving around the sun in that orbit, right? Now, apogee means, apogee is the position where moon is very near to the Earth. Apogee is the position where moon is very near to the Earth. That means the moon's orbit will be near to the Earth's orbit, right? The nearest possible place is apogee. Their moon will be at the nearest place to the Earth. So perigee. Perigee is the place where the moon will be closest to the Earth, right? What is apogee? Apogee means moon will be farthest from the Earth. So perigee means moon will be closest to the Earth, and apogee means moon will be farthest to the Earth. Similarly, perihelion means Earth will be closest to the sun. Earth will be closest to the sun in that point of orbit. And aphelion means Earth will be farthest from the sun. Earth will be farthest from the sun. So apogee, perigee. Perigee means moon closest to the Earth. Apogee means moon farthest from the Earth. Perihelion means Earth closest to the sun. right? And aphelion means earth farthest from the sun. Now these are important because tides, we can cover the tides topic also now, right? So why does tides occur? Tides are a resultant of gravitational pull of moon and sun, right? The cause for tides is the gravitational pull of moon and the sun. This is the cause for tides, right? And tides are of two types. What are they? Spring tides and neap tides, right? Tides are of two types. One is spring tides, the second one is neap tides. So spring tides means the tide level will be more than normal, right? So higher tides, we will be seeing higher tides than normal during the spring tides, right? What are neap tides? Neap tides means low tides. The height of the tides will be less than the normal range, right? It will be less than the normal range. Now, when does spring tides happen? Spring tides happen when the earth, moon and sun are close to each other. That is during the time of perigee and also during the time of perihelion, right? Then when the moon and earth are close, gravitational pull will be more, right? That is obvious. That is obvious, right? So at the positions of perigee and at the positions of perihelion, when the moon is very close to earth and when the sun is very close to earth, we have spring tides. We have spring tides. And when will be the neap tides? The neap tides will occur when gravitational pull is very weak, right? When the gravitational pull of sun and moon is very weak. That happens at apogee and aphelion, right? That happens at apogee and aphelion. So this is about apogee, perigee, aphelion, perihelion, spring tides and neap tides, right? Spring tides and neap tides. So the last topic for today is Bandhavgarh National Park. Bandhavgarh National Park. Now, why is this Bandhavgarh National Park important? Because this, for the first time, elephants were brought to this Bandhavgarh National Park, right? For the first time, elephants were brought to this Bandhavgarh National Park. And this Bandhavgarh National Park is located in Madhya Pradesh. This Bandhavgarh National Park is located in Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, we have Jim Corbett National Park. Where is Jim Corbett National Park located? It is located in Uttarakhand. It is located in Uttarakhand. Bandipur National Park, it's located in Karnataka. Bandipur National Park is important because we have seen severe forest fires last year in Bandipur National Park, right? So all the details about Bandipur National Park we need to know. Is it a heritage site, right? Is it a national park? Is it a wildlife sanctuary? Is it located in the Nilgiri Hills or is it located in any other hills, right? So Bandipur National Park is located in Karnataka. And try to get more details, guys, because this was in the news, right? Severe forest fires took place in Bandipur National Park. And Nagarhole National Park. Where is Nagarhole National Park? Nagarhole National Park is also located in Karnataka. Nagarhole National Park is also located in Karnataka. So in this way, there is a map where you can find all the national parks, biosphere reserves and wildlife sanctuaries located in the states, right? Try to glance that at least once in a day, guys. It will be very useful and easy for you to remember things, right? So we'll stop this here and we'll see some important topics in today's newspaper. So today we can see the Supreme Court giving 10 years of deadline for telecom companies, right? 10 years of deadline for telecom companies to pay their adjusted gross revenues. What is this AGR? Please try to find out. What is the telecom sector and what is tele-density? What is tele-density? Try to find about that term also, right? And what is revenue sharing model? That was also mentioned by Supreme Court in the judgment. So revenue sharing model is the present contract between the telecom companies and the government. Try to find out what is this revenue sharing model. What is TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India? Is it a constitutional body or is it a statutory body? Or is it an extra constitutional body? Please find out, right? Similarly, we have a tribunal called TDSAT, Telecom Dispute Settlement Appellate Tribunal. Find about that also and find the method of appeal. After TRAI, we can appeal to TDSAT. After TD SAT, we can appeal to High Court or Supreme Court. This is the process of appealing, right? This is the process of appealing. So I have covered everything about telecom sector in one video, guys, right? A 30 minutes video in CSB YouTube channel. If you just go through that, you will be thorough with all these terms for prelims. And the second topic is GST revenue has fell by 12% in the August month, right? GST revenue has fell by 12%. So all the details about GST you have to be thorough with. Under which constitutional amendment it was brought, right? And did that constitutional amendment require consent of the states or not, right? We have different types of constitutional amendments. One is out of Article 368, right? The second one is under Article 368 with special majority. Third one is under Article 368 with special majority along with ratification of half of the state legislative assemblies. Now find out this GST comes under which kind of amendment, right? And what is ITC? What is input tax credit, right? GST is a destination based tax, consumption based tax, right? We have discussed this already. What is ITC? How does ITC work? What are the different taxes that were subsumed in GST? This was mains 2019 question. In mains 2019 GS3, straight away they were asked to list down the taxes that were subsumed in GST, right? A completely factual question, right? So try to find out what are the goods which are exempted from GST. Is there GST on alcohol? Is there GST on petrol, right? So try to find out these things. Is there GST on aviation turbine fuel? No. So try to find all the goods that are out of GST, right? And also try to find about GST network. What is the GST network? That was also in the news, guys. So in this way, 360 degrees about GST, right? 360 degrees about GST. Similarly about Kashmir, there was an editorial article about Kashmir in today's paper. There was an editorial article about Kashmir in today's paper. There was mentioning of various things. Article 370, Article 35A, Public Safety Act, preventive detention, right? What are the grounds on which we can do preventive detention, right? It's mentioned in Article 22 of Indian Constitution. In that, preventive detention measures are mentioned. Safeguards against detention, right? All these are important. Public Safety Act. This was the act used by the central government to keep the politicians in preventive detention in the Kashmir. Public Safety Act. What is that act? What are the important provisions, right? And Supreme Court judgment on internet connectivity in Kashmir, where the Supreme Court said access to internet is important for realizing fundamental rights, right? So that Supreme Court judgment is important for us. What is the name of that judgment? That also you find out. And recent initiative where for non-locals of Kashmir, domicile certificates are being given, right? That was an issue. Try to read about that. And the complete history of Kashmir, guys. The complete history of Kashmir. You can find videos in YouTube. You can go through them, right? So they'll be useful for you in tracing the entire constitutional relationship between Kashmir and India. How was it before August 5th, 2019? How it changed after August 5th, 2019? The clarity you should have, right? There can be a question from this area. And the next article was on private consumption, GDP, government expenditure, right? GDP, you just focus. We have discussed that well in advance in previous classes itself. Covishield, this vaccine is being developed by Oxford University and Serum Institute of India. Just keep this in your mind. And we can see some military exercises that were mentioned in today's newspaper. First is Indra 2020. This is a naval exercise between India and Russia. Where is it happening? In Andaman Sea. Why is it important? It is nearby to the choke point, Strait of Malacca. That is a strategic point which gives access for China into the Indian Ocean region. So Indra 2020, Russia and India naval exercise. Kavkaz 2020, Kavkaz, Kavkaz. What is this? This is a multinational exercise being conducted in a place called Kavkaz, which is in Russia. India gave the statement that it is withdrawing from Kavkaz. It is not participating in this Kavkaz. Why? Because China is also participating. This is a multinational exercise that is taking place in Russia. Try to find more details. PASEX. What is PASEX? Passage exercise. This was done by India Navy and US Navy in Andaman and Nicobar Island. ASEX. We have discussed this also. Please revise it. What is freedom of navigation exercise? This is done by United States in the South China Sea. This is done by United States in the South China Sea. Freedom of navigation exercise. Is US a part of UNCLOS treaty? No. US is not a part of UNCLOS treaty. International Seabed Authority, right? All these things you have to revise, guys. There was an NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau report on accidents and suicide deaths. If you find any important statistics there, please keep them in your mind. And another international relations issue, which is very important, is Turkey-Greece Mediterranean Sea dispute. You can see that in the world page of Hindu newspaper, right? Turkey and Greece are fighting for gas and oil reserves in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. So in this context, we can expect a geography through maps question. So we need to know all the countries that are bordering Mediterranean Sea. Try to find out all the countries that are bordering Mediterranean Sea, and also all the countries that are bordering Turkey, and also all the countries that are bordering Greece. These you have to know, guys. So this can be an IR question as well as a geography through maps question. And Hamas. Hamas is a militant organization. Where is it present? It's present in the Israel-Palestine issue. So Hamas is an organization related to Israel-Palestine. Houthis is an organization that is related to Yemen. Houthis is related to Yemen, right? Hamas is related to Israel. Hezbollah, there is another organization called Hezbollah. Hezbollah is related to Lebanon. Boko Haram is active in Western Africa. All these are militant organizations, terrorist organizations. Where they are operating, please try to find them. Kurds, where are Kurds? Kurds are in Syria-Turkey border. So all this you have to know, guys. And all the places in West Asia which were in last 1 to 1.5 years, all those places which are and where they are located in which country, that you have to know.